Hello and welcome back to the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. And welcome to our weekly industry recap. Today we're going to talk about the fourth episode of industry's very enjoyable season two, so far at least. And joining me today, as he has been for the past 3 weeks and as he shall be hopefully for the next 4 weeks, taking a break from his COVID kitchen tour, sesh after sesh, it's Eyo Ndem. Hey, how are you doing? How are you
I'm
recovering?
fine. Recovering from what? From COVID?
No, from your session.
You know I don't sesh. I don't sesh. That was back
You're,
in the day when I was a younger man. I'm too old to sesh now, Banky.
I,
Sure you know. Sure you know.
I kept on wanting to interject, let you just go on and on. Why are you too old? You're not too old to sesh.
Once you can't get a once you can't get an under 25 real card anymore, you're too old to sesh.
That's the limit.
That's the limit.
What if you look under 25 but you're over 20?
That's no, it's not about looking, bro. Because that means you're paying full prices for the train. You don't have money to sesh when you're paying full prices for the train.
Well, what if you're Yasmin?
Am I? Am I?
Okay, so I don't know. So what's your limit? Age or money?
Both.
Eh, But you could be like Harry. You could be like
I'm too old to sesh. I
okay.
said.
You could be like Robert in season one. Like he didn't have the money, but he didn't let that get in his way. He still enjoyed
Because it
himself.
was not paying full price for the train.
True, he was 25.
This is facts. Check it. Ask people that pay full prices for train and work normal jobs if they sesh.
What's an abnormal job?
I don't know. That means you're not in the top 5% of earners in the country.
Oh, okay. Well,
Ask them.
it's funny that you say all this on the podcast, but I know what you're going to be doing this Friday night, but that's fine.
What
That's
am I
fine.
doing this Friday night,
That's
Banky?
fine. Let's talk
What
about
am I doing this Friday
industry.
night? I'm going to watch Nope.
Let's talk about industry. Season 2, episode 4, titled "There Are Some Women," written by Zara Mirza and directed by Isabella Eklof again. Um, as always, let me just ask you your general thoughts before we go into the episode. Are you still on the train? Are you still on the industry season 2 train?
Yes. Yes, I am. Are you?
Oh yes, I have.
You know what?
So
Let's flip it around this week, Banky. What are your general thoughts?
no, that's not. I'm the host. I meant
Bitch.
to. I meant to.
What are your general
I meant
thoughts?
to divert attention.
Always making me lead.
You
You're
know
such a
what? It's
typical man. Sure you know.
yeah.
Sure you
What
know.
I mean, yeah, but in what way? What do you mean?
You're delegating all the mental work to me, your partner in this relationship.
That sounds accurate and on point. And
Do
yes,
it first. So,
mm.
Banky, what are your general thoughts on this
um,
episode before we dive into it?
knowing you as I know you, I figured this was going to happen sooner or later that you were going to vex. So I wrote down my general thoughts for this episode.
That's so heartwarming.
Okay, no, I think my general thought really, my biggest takeaway is that this is a really good season, and because these are like excellent episodes individually. And I was writing my notes for this episode, and just conceptually, I was like, oh, this is an Eric episode, right? It starts with
Mhm.
Eric, it ends with Eric. Big things happen to Eric. But I was like, wait. I was writing my notes, I realized just how many pivotal things happen to all the characters.
Mm.
And I couldn't just be like, this is an Eric episode where Harper and Robert and Gus are just like going by the wayside or just treading
Yeah,
water or Yasmin. I was like, oh, wait, things are happening to these characters. Like, if this
big
episode
things.
was edited in a different way with the exact same scenes, we could be like, this is a Yasmin episode. Or this is like maybe not Harper, but like probably Harper too, actually. She had
Maybe
some
Harper,
some
yeah.
important things,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think my opinion was just like, oh, these are actually just very good TV episodes. Like just good episodes of television, not like
Mm.
a long season or that's 8 hours of a movie or whatever. These are just like very good episodes of television. Um, yeah, like that to me, that was just my biggest. I was like, that's very, very impressive that they're able to just write so many important things for different characters in one episode, in one set of 55 minutes. Um, but it is mostly Eric focus, or at least Eric consequentially. So I think we'll keep Eric to the end. We'll talk about Eric as we end the podcast. But
Mm-hmm.
let's start with Yasmin, if that's okay with you. And
It's
I want to
always okay
start
with me.
with say it's not okay with you.
So it's always okay with me.
So it's like it's all Yasmin. Um, I was okay. I hope you carry that energy into my next point. Let's start with Yasmin and Celeste in that bathroom scene? Please
Let's
explain.
go.
Please
Is
explain. Please
is
go
it a
ahead.
reversal of her dynamic with like her and
And that's
Robert?
what I was thinking. I started laughing. Immediately, Celeste was like, pick it up. I
Pick it
started
up.
laughing.
Oh,
Because I was like,
let's
oh, this
go.
is funny if they're going to reverse this.
Yeah, yeah. And she looked so turned on.
I
Ah,
thought they were going to like have sex in the
like
bathroom
kiss.
there.
Come on, bro. That's an event.
Okay, and like, why is that stopping from? Are we forgetting Gus
Okay,
and Theo
fair.
last season? What are you talking about?
I was about to say even Yasmin and Robert.
True, that same event, the
Yeah,
same
it was the
Christmas
same
party,
event.
actually,
Yeah.
yes. So, no, I don't know. I thought she was making her like pick it so that she could be, i.e., on the floor. So I thought that was why. So that, anyway, that but obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, Yasmin definitely looked intrigued, if nothing else, when Celeste left the bathroom.
When she left the bathroom, I think that's one of my favorite looks. I need that as a meme.
As a me,
Her
as
face when she
a,
left.
yeah, and obviously we find out in 2 seconds later that Celeste has a female partner.
Read
So and yeah, a
and
female married
she's
partner. So she's
what?
what? What does that mean?
You know? Banky, you're not on the internet at all.
Is that I guess that's meant to be like not. So you guys are not watching on YouTube. You don't see what AS do, but I guess that's like not straight, bent.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that a thing? Is that an internet thing?
It is a thing, Banky.
Oh,
It's a
I didn't know
thing.
this. I didn't know this. I've been
I
focused
first
on
saw
this
it when
podcast.
Lil Nas X used it.
Oh,
And it was like I guess it was like a picture of SpongeBob or something doing like this. But yeah. But yeah, she
you see, you're not
is
too old. You're not too old to
not
search.
straight.
You're not
I'm
too old to
definitely too
search.
old to search.
You know,
Banky, enjoying the internet doesn't mean I have money to spend.
but you know all this. Um, I think we're counting down the days, right, till Yasmin and
Till
Celeste
the
have,
yeah.
or maybe they almost done something
Stops it
like
from
Celeste
happening.
really like really. I don't know what, but like it's gonna be a thing eventually, right? That's not.
Yeah.
This is just not
Do you feel good
not there for
because
no
you
reason.
called it
Not really. 'Cause I
from
just feel like it was obvious.
from the first
From
from the second episode?
it, no, it was the first.
Was it the first?
It
Okay,
was the
fair.
first now that they met at his party, wasn't it? It was the first.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel it was the second episode where you said you're not sure if the relationship is like I'm scared of you, but I want to fuck
Oh,
you
okay, yeah,
type
that
thing.
part, yeah, yeah, because that one I still don't know it. Like, if it's like I'm scared of you, I want to fuck you, I want to be with you, I hate you, like so. Especially with the complication now of Yasmin's dad's money coming into the to Pierre Point.
And
So
also Celeste's wife.
Celeste's wife, that's actually that's a big
It's
complication.
another
Celeste's wife,
complication.
that's a big complication. Um,
But you know what else
but
I
yeah,
was
I don't know.
thinking? Why don't we ever run into them filming this? Because that scene where Celeste getting into the car, it
Mhm.
was at Green Park Station. I'm there all the time. Okay, not all the time, but I'm there quite often.
Have you run into other people's filming stuff?
Do you know what's funny? Okay, not filming. Well, I'll get into my filming story later. But
Mhm.
at Green Park Station, I ran into Yara Shahidi once
Just
at Green
walking down
Park
the street.
Station, just walking down the street, and she was surrounded with some people, and then she saw us, and we gave her the eyes, like the wow, are you Yara Shahidi? And she gave us like a little nod. You know the black people
The
nod.
black nod, yeah.
Yeah. She
Oh,
was surrounded by some non-ethnic, so it was,
oh, so not even like security.
yeah. I mean, I guess they were her friends. I don't think they were security.
Hmm.
Maybe they were. I don't
Non-ethnics.
know.
And what's your filming story?
Oh yeah, near my former office, there was a food market, and they were filming. I forget what it was called. Like it was that Emilia Clarke Christmas movie, Last
Oh,
Christmas or
okay.
something like that.
Is it this
Emma Thompson.
Christmas?
This Christmas, I don't
I
know.
know the movie you're talking about. Yeah,
But
with
yeah, they
Henry
were filming it
Golding.
there, so we saw um, Emilia Clarkson and Emma Thompson there, and
Yeah,
they
I mean,
had
look,
put
yeah.
up like fake food stalls apart from the food stalls that were there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just
It was
like
just
what to
really
make you
funny.
look
It was
busier.
it was literally it was like on a Tuesday in the middle of the day. I was
Oh.
like, what? Why are you here? This is so unsafe.
um. Yeah, I don't think I've ever run into anybody filming anything in London. But I mean, I guess industry. When would they have filmed this last year?
I don't know.
But we've been locked. We've been not locked down, but we've been in our homes more than normal, at least in last year.
That's
So
fair enough.
wouldn't
Yeah.
have probably seen them. Um, just like always, I don't really have much to say about the Yasmin Celeste relationship. It's just a lot of build up until the eventual payoff.
Will there be payoff?
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I think it's either there will be that payoff of them sleeping together or something just like
Mm.
really like blue balls, if for lack of a better word. Like, it's going to be something that
Yeah.
just like really just stops it from happening. I don't know what that's going to be. Um,
Do you think blue balls is like a? Do you think it's like a? Are we allowed to say blue balls anymore?
wait, it's like offensive.
I don't know. Maybe not offensive, but isn't it like? I feel like there's a lot of combats around blue balls. I don't know.
Oh,
You can cut this out because I don't think it's true.
I mean, I'm probably going
But
to
go
leave it
ahead.
to. I don't know. If anyone is listening, if you, I don't know, enlighten us. We always want to be enlightened. Um, but yeah, that scene leads to Yasmin. I mean, we should say that we'll talk about this in a second, but we should say that all this is kind of preluded by the fact that Yasmin is kind of getting the runaround on
From Maxim.
Maxim sending the financials to Pierpoint, and
Mm,
she kind of has the feeling that maybe they might run out of money, or maybe her father might be a bit overstretched. We'll talk about that in a second.
yeah.
Um, but she does go to Robert Harper and Gus's, in which she has a pajamas stroke COVID stroke I'm very rich monologue to to Harper. What was the point of that monologue? What do you think?
Do you know I was going to say that I think that was the only bit of this episode that didn't work for me. Just that
Mm-hmm.
scene. I kind of wish Robert stayed because I don't understand who she came to see.
Oh, I think, which we're gonna be deep. I think she's quite lonely.
No, I know, I understand that, but then who did she call to say she was coming over?
Oh, nobody.
She just showed up.
She just stood up. She said their
Oh,
neighbor that looks like Jonah Hill let her in. Like, she just showed up.
that's wild. Okay.
Like, nobody knew she was coming. Like, Robert
And Robert
dips
just left.
immediately she comes in. He's like, this is not my sphere anymore.
My boy, man.
Um, so yeah, like you, I was trying to understand because it does the obvious thing, right? It informs a lot about, not a lot, but more about Yasmin's character. We kind of know how she became this season two druggy, for lack of a better word. Like
Hmm.
that was our COVID
It
pastime.
was quite, yeah, it was quite obvious. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing I took, I was like, 'cause I was thinking, is she kind of doing this word vomit to Harper because she fears that her family might be losing their money?
That's it. That was it for me. It felt like we were hearing her inner thoughts
Hmm.
for, like, I guess like she said, she's never really had to think about money, but is this the first time Yasmin was scared
Of losing the money.
of, like, yeah, of
Yeah,
being
yeah,
broke?
yeah, exactly. I mean, to not know that you've been paid that day is a big deal.
Yeah.
Like, I was like,
I
what
mean,
do you?
considering their packages, man, yeah, that's a
Yeah,
big
I'm
deal.
like, Yasmin, no. So yeah, I think I was. Is it because she actually? I read to real here. Is it genuinely because she genuinely fears that her family might be running out of money that she like
I
kind of
think I think that's it.
goes
I
through
think
all
she was
this? And I
very
don't think
afraid.
it's like, yeah, I don't think it's any deeper thing about like who she is as a person. But I think it's just like,
No,
I think it
it's
emphasizes.
more moment. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna say it emphasizes like she's probably a very selfish person. No, not selfish. Sorry, sports person. And
Mm,
it's like what happens when you think that money is leaving.
mm.
Um, but it also just also underscores the awkwardness between Harper and
Yeah,
Yasmin, which
I
yeah.
did think that it played in with the what I think were the larger themes of the episode of people confronting themselves or being or seeing themselves for the first time. I don't know. Like that was like my general theme of this episode. Like
Okay.
Yasmin was having to see, oh, is this who I am? And like she had to reckon with that in that moment.
Can you do me a favor as we go through this episode? Can you just always like come back to that
Come back to that. I
and
will. I
how?
think I think there's the obvious one with Eric.
But
Like,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. But with all the other characters, I think they go through.
yeah. So the Yasmin and Daddy Yaz scene in which he tells her that he is being sued by a lot of women that he probably slept with or assaulted or pick your white rich man offense, right? And
He probably said he got me too.
yeah, yeah, and then so he has ended all of them and everything. And I don't know if I first of all the music cue in that scene is incredible. I think it was Handel's Messiah they were playing there. I'm not really sure, but like the way the Amen comes in, the Amen chorus comes in at the end when he tells her that he still has money is just incredible. So I don't know if I interpreted this correctly, and let me know what you got of that scene. But it was to me, it was almost like she was more relieved that he still had money than she
Yeah,
cared about the fact that like he like so she's a terrible person. They're
yeah,
putting that
yeah,
on the
hundred
okay okay
percent,
okay
hundred
okay
percent,
okay.
hundred
I wasn't
percent.
sure if I was reading that the right way or the wrong
No, the
way.
relief when because she looked like she was about to cry
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "We still have money," and
This
her dad was just so confused. He was like, "Yeah, we
it was like
have we
generational.
have generational wealth." I said, "Fair enough, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It was like,
fair."
wait, is that what you're thinking about? That's not even a problem. What are you talking about? We're
You
talking
know,
about
do you understand? Like my guy was trying to like, oh, I've been trying to hide this from you because I don't want you to think I'm a bad guy, and like I am a
mm-hmm,
bad guy, but like I didn't want you to know that, and like maybe this was, like maybe I decided to give you this like my business so that you would find out like on
mm-hmm.
purpose because the guilt is weighing on me. And Yas is just like, bro,
Do we have
we
money
are,
or not?
is the money still there? Like, did you? How many women did you do this to? Like, you have
And I
finished all our money.
and I think that I love that's why I really love the music cue because like when he says no we still have money that's when like the
The
amen
amen
comes in kind
comes
of like
in.
yeah so I was just like oh okay he has just
Uh,
he's a, wait, obviously we can't talk about how he made his money but he's a publisher right like how
mhm.
is he this rich
I don't know.
how is he generationally wealth rich like that's interesting
I
that's
guess if you publish a few good books, you
but
can
okay
maybe.
so yeah I guess so
Bro,
where
people build generational wealth in like all sorts of ways. I was talking to
hmm,
someone the other day, and they're like, "Oh, they're telling me about their coworker, and they said, oh, they're in paint. Their family is in paint." And I was just like, "Okay, that means you're wealthy, like, because
as in like painting the wall
yeah, 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 because like you're not just in paint, like, like what does that mean, banking?
they might be Dulux they might be the name on the
Do you
paint can
understand? Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah.
we're in
So,
paint
so
okay
people just make their money in like anything.
mm-hmm. um Okay.
A
So
nice touch from that scene though
yeah,
is, and I don't know if I misheard this, but I think that Yaz called her Mina, which I
yeah,
thought
he
was
called
really
Amina
sweet.
in previous episodes as well.
I probably didn't hear it
Yeah,
then. I
so I
was like,
guess
oh,
Yasmina, I guess.
yeah.
So are we just taking the fact that the only reason Maxim was keeping this from her was the like your dad was cheating and has NDAs, not like nothing else. Like from next week, everything, all the papers would have been sorted out. Everything, right?
I mean, hopefully,
Hmm.
and I think that's why he was like, talk to your dad
Yeah,
because
and I was like, just trust me. He didn't want to be the one to tell her
yeah,
the
I think he
news.
was more uncomfortable about that than he thought. He probably thought Yasmin would have been upset.
Yeah.
Okay, you don't know her.
um. Do you want to start talking about Gus at home or Gus in the office?
I feel like they might be a bit linked, but let's talk about Gus at home because I feel
Okay.
like that's a similar
So, how
journey.
did you feel when Leo walks out?
Oh man. Oh,
It took you 1 week. It took them
because
one
last week
week.
I was like, please, please, please don't have sex with this boy. Why? But there he is.
I started laughing when it came. I was like, it happened. I love the fact that it happened off screen. Like we didn't even need to see. It
We
just
didn't need to see. We just
it was
knew. I was actually so disappointed. I'm so happy that they all called him a child, and he was like,
yeah. And then what did
yeah,
Robert
and
say?
then
If
went
he
back to it.
Robert said if
Yeah,
he's
go with God, something
yeah if
like
he's
that.
legal go with God. And okay, let's see what's happening in that home scene. I would just like to say that
Mhm.
that three-way scene in the kitchen made me realize how much I really like these characters, especially Harper, which is like very no, as rather it's surprising that I like Harper as well. That's what I mean by
Yeah,
especially Harper. Not that like I like her the most, because I'm just like I wouldn't have thought about this 5 episodes before. Like I
fair.
like watching them just talk three of them. I was like, I really like you guys. I really like this conversation, and also just like Gus having a personality beyond pining over Theo is just it's very pleasing to me. I like seeing Gus smile and make jokes and say "Go, I shall." In it. Like I was like, oh, this is nice. This is a nice scene between these three people. I like these guys are friends.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I think that's really the main thing I say about Gus at home and Gus and Leo. That's obviously well, Harper begged him not to let it blow up in their faces because of who Leo's dad is, but
And we know it
it's a
will.
TV
So
show.
you know,
Yeah. So
Go we
Um,
shall.
well, Gus,
But I
yeah,
had something to say about Gus at home,
mm-hmm,
but it's very related to Gus at work. Do
it's fine.
you know their relationship, or the conversation Gus was having with Leo
Mm-hmm.
from last week, and then about like what did he say last week? Basically, how like if you're expected to like if you're coming from great expectations, like it's a bit silly, it's pathetic. That's what he
To
said for
aim
you
down, yeah.
to
Mm-hmm.
aim down, right? Yeah. Um, and then this week when they're trying to get it on, and he's like, "Oh, I'm thinking about work."
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Oh, are they trying to show us the parallels between Gus and Leo, or is Gus seeing like what could essentially be a mirror for himself in Leo? They
What in
both
that?
come from some privilege or like
Mm-hmm.
money at the very least. Their parents are highly accomplished, and they've been given every opportunity in life. So Gus has been out of work for, he said, a year in this
Yeah.
episode.
Mm-hmm.
But now that he's back in work, I think he's enjoying it. But then I think also seeing Leo, who is not interested in achieving things, might also be, I don't know how to put this,
Do you think it's
like
spurring
eye
him
opening
on?
for him. Yeah, I think it definitely is spurring him on.
Yeah. But yeah, that's true. The thing is that I don't think Gus was ever unambitious. So maybe he was maybe settling into like a little malaise, and then seeing Leo was like, no,
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
not.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So not that
So
yeah, not that his character changed, but
yeah,
I think
he remembered who he
the
was,
COVID, yeah, I think the
mm.
COVID times and then, how he left Pierpoint to just
And
allowed
he
him
was
to,
quote unquote writing his book. So
yeah, it allowed him to coast for a little bit. And now he's
yeah.
seen someone who does not even want to try. And he's like, oh shit, I actually want to
So
do stuff in my life.
so speaking about his work, first of all, if industry wants to go politics, yes, please. Like if that's what they want to do, I wouldn't like. It's like when Succession moved into politics. I was like, yes, give it to me. I want to hear your own take on this. But
New
so yeah,
challenge for
guys,
this podcast. Don't mention Succession.
don't mention Succession, right? I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. But you know what? It's like it's honestly the biggest compliment I can give. I can give this show because of how much I love Succession. Like me always referencing in a good way is the best thing I can
Fair.
do. I'm going to. I almost mentioned it earlier. I'm going to try to really do it less, but I'm sorry. It's like yeah. Anyways, um, yeah, Gus in at work, Gus in politics, like that final scene.
Mm-hmm.
Does Gus actually care?
That's what I
Is
have
he
to.
like? Is he somehow getting better as a character? Does he actually care?
Does he want to do good?
Yeah, like, cause like, what's the
Or is
point
he
if
just a
not?
political animal?
But like, what is the point of caring about this random guy
This random guy. I
if
mean,
it's just
maybe
for
so that
political? Mhm.
the Mr. Dekunle can see. That's her surname, right?
Yeah, so this episode. I mean, yeah, maybe, but like, maybe, but like the way he does play that scene, it seems very, very earnest and very, very like
Genuine,
true.
right?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, he's done his work. Like you can this type of guy that you could probably just like settle down in one conversation, just like give him the bare minimum. But he's actually
Mm-hmm.
gone and he's actually asking him questions like, oh, okay, Gus, do you care? Are you the Tory with a heart? Is it you? But yeah, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I didn't think Gus was going to be in politics this soon in the
Early.
show. So yeah, so I'm excited to see where they take that. I love that they just kept it as conservative though. They didn't like let's make him a liberal. Like they didn't just like they were like no, it has to be realistic. Like,
No, yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
We know who Gus is.
we know who Gus is. Yeah, so I'm interested to see where that goes going forward. I'm obviously more interested in this storyline than Gus and Leo.
I really
Like
hope it ends. I
yeah, that
hope
could
Gus
go.
is just like, man, you're a child and you're boring. Let me go do this stuff.
Well, maybe it's because
I
he's a
think that's
child that he's not boring
come on.
to Gus. I mean, that may be what intrigues him because he's a. But I mean, look, this is industry, right? Everything in the show is about power.
Yeah, man.
Um,
But like, it's funny you say that because like watching that scene, I was like, man, can I trust you, Gus? Do I trust? Do I trust that you are actually caring about this guy, or is this another angle that you're trying to find? But fair.
maybe I just couldn't maybe because I couldn't see the angle. I couldn't. I tried to figure. I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
where is the
that's
angle
fair.
here? So I was like, I just had to take like he's telling the truth. Like to actually get the shit tested is like
Yeah.
that's not like you could lie about that. Like to actually get tested is like really going the extra mile. And then Adekunle just walking out whenever the guy comes in, it's just like, oh, okay. Even you're one of them. Um, you once asked me why Harper is allergic to people caring about her.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know the financial like semantics of what she does with Danny and Lee and Jesse. I just get the idea that she screwed over Danny, at least behind his back. Um, hopefully, we'll have some financial people in a few weeks to talk about the financials of this show. But yeah, Harper and Danny, I don't even know where to start with them. Should we start? Let's start with the office, maybe in the
Yeah,
conversation
let's
with the
start at the
office.
beginning. Yeah.
The beginning. That's what
Because their
that's
first conversation when he was giving
when he gave
her
her the
the
money.
yeah, her comp for the year. Why are they always flirting? She's in love with flirting with him. She loves to flirt.
Yeah, but I mean, he paid off this episode eventually. Like
I mean, yeah,
they
yeah.
always flirt because they're trying to see each other. Like that's not we understand. We
They're always
understand that
flirting.
much.
But like,
Um,
man, you're having a serious conversation with your boss. Why are you flirting, bro?
and
Harper can't help herself.
but they can't help each other. They can't help themselves. Rather,
I know now. Danny has been saying no since.
I mean, he said no last episode.
Yeah.
He didn't say no. He was one that invited her to drinks the first time. The peer pint joke.
I mean, drinks after work is like a colleague's thing.
Yeah, but the
It's
way he
not
said
that
it, he was flirting when he asked her.
fair, Sha, fair. That's fair.
Um,
Anyways, yeah, he calls her territorial in that
mhm.
conversation. I think when he was like, "Why are you so territorial?" I was like, "Bro, you know why? You know why? There's no need to ask. Like, you both came up under the same guy. How can you be
You
asking
actually
her
both came from the same guy.
why she's so territorial?"
Do you know
But
what I
okay.
like about this show a lot? There are very few shows like this. Like a lot of things that are said that I always think would cause a fight or would be like deal breakers. Just like right off the other person's back, like just like nothing. Like
Mm-hmm,
something that territorial thing in a different show would be the problem of the episode. Like
right.
of Harper talking about thinking about why did like Danny call him territorial? Like who is it to say that? Or even we talk get to them, but even when Robert says this thing he says when he's kissing Nicole, I was like, oh, that's the mood done. And then she just laughs. I was like, oh, okay, I do not know these characters at all. These are I just don't understand these characters at all. Um yeah, and then I want to skip over the Danny, Jesse, Harper dinner for
Okay.
now because I don't really understand the actual business that happens unless you do and you want to explain it.
I mean, it seemed like Danny was trying to sell him on another company that he
Hmm.
should buy into because he thinks it's going to go far. So get in early and then you can sell later, or if they're acquired, you make your money. Um, Jesse and I guess Harper weren't buying it, so
Yeah,
I think that was the main
that was the
the
gist of
main
it, right?
thing
Because
that
Harper says
yeah
later like the blockbuster of I think healthcare or whatever, and it's just I think just syringes instead of DVDs or something like that or Blu-rays or whatever.
yeah
But like they're going to expire soon. But I want to talk about one of I think the best conversations this episode, which is Harper and Danny
mm,
in the office. This is at night. And I think it's the rare conversation that managed to humanize both characters. I was like, both characters just come off great after this conversation. Like
yeah
Harper is um vulnerable, she's open, she's like her genuine like confusion when he remembers that her brother is in
might have been in
Berlin
Berlin. Hmm.
is in equal parts like heartbreaking, but also just hilarious to me. Like she hasn't met people that are just that's a normal person thing. That's nothing special that he remembers
That's
that,
fair.
but she hasn't met people in her life that would so equal parts. I was laughing, but equal parts like that. This is just very heartbreaking for Harper as a character. Um, who do you think is Danny's black parent?
That's a very good question. Ah, I want to say his dad. His dad.
Really?
Yeah.
I have it as his mom.
I'm basing this off, I think Danny's modeled after Drake. So I think it's his dad. I don't think with a black mom you end up as corny as Danny is.
Ah, that's true. I guess I'm finding it difficult to see the like the white lecturer sleeps with his black student and marries her story.
I buy that a lot more than a black lecturer. Oh no, sorry. What did I say? His dad is black. That's
Yeah,
fair. I do buy that. I buy that a white lecturer would sleep with the
yeah. That's why
because
that's why I
there's
believe.
less. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
more likely to stay in your job if you're white than
yeah. Also, if you're a
if you're a
black man
black
and you're
guy.
sleeping with your white student, wow,
Yeah,
the
that's
balls on
brave.
you,
That's
the
brave,
balls
bro.
on you.
Fair. Okay. I forgot about that. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so I want to go like, and the fact that he married after, I just want to go that his mom is a black one. I mean, we'll find out. Obviously, I don't know if we knew from hearing her voice in season one, but she confirms that Harper confirms that her mom is white in this episode.
Did
I don't know
she?
if
What did she say?
she said her mom was from somewhere, I can't remember,
Oh yes.
refugee from somewhere, a very
Yes,
white
yes.
country. Yeah, so
Was it Hungary or
um
something like that? Yeah.
yeah, around those areas. Yeah, so in talking about Eric, Danny says that Eric likes to create people in his image until they become him, but
Mm-hmm.
younger, and he can't fucking live with it, right? And then I think Harper says something about if he can't pull his weight, he should get off or something like that.
Yeah.
And watching it on my rewatch, I was just wondering how if Harper would react the same way if she knew like DVD was like plotting Eric's death. Like, do you get what I mean? Like,
Mm.
if she knew what was at stake, oh, I guess it wasn't at stake. She doesn't control what DVD does, but like, if she knew that DVD was in that moment about to like lobotomize Eric, does she say what she says? Is she more sympathetic? Is she just saying that because she's trying to get Eric's job or whatever? Do you get what I'm trying to say? I was like, oh, that's like you're a lot more aggressive than I think you might have been if you knew that Eric was about to lose his job. So
That's fair. What if that was what pushed DVD?
it's possible. I mean, he does say he wants to make a call before that. So,
Yeah.
but you can see when you know what happens as an end of episode, when you watch that scene again, you can see that he's thinking. Like
Mm-hmm.
when he goes about Eric wanting to create in his image, you can see his eyes wonder. He's actually thinking, well,
Mm-hmm.
do I want to do what I want to do to Eric? So yeah, you might be right actually, because what he says to Harper that she's just like him or she
You
sounds like him
sound
or
just
whatever.
like him.
And
Yeah.
she's like, you love it. Um
Which leads us into their next scene
yeah, yes, it
where they're
does.
kissing, and then I was overjoyed, I won't lie. Both for Harper, but also like Black Love. I never thought
Black
we were
love.
gonna get Black Love on Industry. That's why I was watching Love Island. But here we are. Here we are,
Do you
bro.
remember when you said we didn't need more black people on industry?
When did I say that?
Oh, in the preview episode, Victor asked for more black people. You're like,
Well, I
we
was
don't need more
wrong.
black.
I was wrong. But you know what? Do you know what my
Yeah.
he's American. It's different because he's the only black Brit. So
Okay.
I think we're fine. I think
Okay.
we're fine.
Fair enough.
I don't think any more black Brits will be very realistic.
Fair. Fair.
Maybe like another grad.
So yeah, we get one every 3 years. So Danny's Harper's boss, right? Not just like
Yes.
like actual boss. Okay.
Yes.
So I love how that scene of, like you said, them kissing comes immediately after Eric and Newman's widow talk about her sleeping with and marrying their boss,
Mm-hmm.
which is Eric, which is Newman. And then after the end of Danny and Harper's sex scene, we then go back to Eric and Newman's widow, and she like flirting with him and trying
Mm-hmm.
to just get with him. And I don't know, I found that editing just very incredible, and the symmetry and the allusions all there. So like people are just sleeping with their bosses on this show.
Yeah, man. It's
And
crazy.
not even
But
in a
before
way
we
that
yeah.
like Harper was remember last episode? Oh no, was it last episode? Yes, when Harper was just flirting with him in front. She literally sent
In front
Rishi
of
away,
Rishi.
and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
okay, I get that you're sleeping with your boss, but don't you want this to be low key? Like, what are we doing here? Like, we're just like
I guess it's
doing.
because Danny came from somewhere else.
So he's not really her
Maybe.
boss. He doesn't.
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't
But did
feel
he
like
come there to like evaluate them?
no. Is it evaluate or like work with them? I don't remember.
I thought it was work with them, but like he will get to decide who gets subsumed.
Yes. Yes.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know. But even apart from that, I was also thinking that like, so we should say that later in the episode, or literally after they have sex, which is what prompted me to that your question that you asked, because it's immediately they have sex, in which, like you said, probably one of there are very few wholesome sex scenes in this show, and probably this is one of those
It
few,
was
right?
really wholesome. I
Um,
enjoyed it.
Jesus Christ,
Black love, man.
I enjoyed the sex scene. Eyo Ndem. Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, so immediately they have that. Harper, it can be a coincidence that immediately he tries, like he puts his hand around her and tries to cuddle her. She stands up and literally calls Bloom
This babe, man.
and stabs Danny in the back.
This
I
babe.
I feel like just by reading what the actress is doing, I feel like she believes in what she's saying. Like
Hmm.
she's not like stabbing in the back for stabbing in the back sake. She
No,
believes that
no.
this is the right play, right? But I do wonder if she's putting herself in too precarious a position, because like she's literally going against Pierpoint for Bloom. Obviously, they wouldn't know, but like if, for example, one reason Bloom decides to leave Pierpoint, that's her done, right? That's Erica
I
fell him all
mean,
over again.
if she doesn't have any other like
I don't think
clients.
she does. I don't think she has any like because Pelham is gone.
Yeah, because but she's a third year analyst. I mean, if she can, I mean, Robert is still there, you guys. What are we? What? They're not going to let her go just because she's
No,
still
okay. Oh,
printing some
I didn't actually
money.
mean like she gets fired. I just meant like she will be a pariah.
I don't know about Pariah. She can definitely find another client.
Hmm. Okay, I'll just find him.
She's
Okay,
not.
that's
She's not terrible yet. You get what I'm saying?
mm-hmm. But
I
if it comes out
think
that she's
someone like
giving
Eric had. Yeah, but if it does come out that she told him to go and short that stock with GS,
Goldman, yeah,
then yeah, that's bad.
yeah,
That would be very bad for her.
yeah. I can't imagine that all these decisions, because like Bloom is not an angel. Bloom is not Jesus Christ. Like he's going to betray somebody. We don't know who it is yet. We're going to betray somebody during this show. Like he's going to do something bad. He's a billionaire. No billionaire is good. So, um, yeah, I don't know. I feel like everything I see her do that isn't like on the straight and narrow, I just fear that it's going to come back to bite her in one way
In
or
a
the
way
other.
that she won't be able to recover from.
Exactly. Maybe not.
Fair.
It's a show. She'll probably recover from it, but it will take a while. It'll be difficult.
Fair.
Um, yeah, because again, we don't even know, because then you don't know which characters are here for more than one season, right?
Mm.
I can imagine DVD will be in a season 3. Bloom probably wouldn't be, or is Duplas just on this show now? Is that what does the thing that's happening? So I don't know. Um, Before we go to Eric, I just want to quickly say about Robert, and you can say if you have anything on him as well. If this show actually makes me start shipping Robert and Nicole,
Mm.
I'm gonna have to fight Conrad and Mickey. I'm gonna have to find them somewhere in London and fight them, because because that was I really you said you enjoyed it. I really
It
enjoyed
was
that
it was
sex
also
scene.
a great scene. It was a great scene.
I was like, these guys actually
Robert
like each
is
other.
so good. I have the exact same thought. I was like, wait, does Robert actually like this babe? Does he
Which
actually like her?
yeah, and I think that leads to why he was maybe a bit hurt by what Harper
Yes.
says later in the
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I also think like I know we said that Nicole has done this before and she can't help herself, but she likes Robert.
How do we know?
You think she's that's all for sure?
Bro, I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. I
Like
think maybe it's
she
the way she
she
like
might just enjoy him.
she
Like, do
might
you
enjoy
understand what I'm
him.
saying?
She
She
might
might just
enjoy him.
enjoy him.
She might enjoy him. That's a good point. That's a
She might
very good
not
point.
like him. I think Robert does like
Oh,
her,
Robert
man.
definitely likes her. That's a very good point that she might just enjoy him. Hmm. I think maybe it was just like the way she reacts to him, like when he cracks the joke about putting on the lamp and like, oh yeah, I don't want to say
Yeah.
this, or like the the business idea
The
while
business
kissing.
idea.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt like those were just very like wholesome reactions. If that's like,
No, I think they're genuine reactions, but like I can't trust Nicole.
oh, I don't think Nicole is gonna like do anything. Like she's not gonna pick any Robert over anything though. Like yeah, I'm trying to
Fair.
like
That's
like
fair.
Robert will always be second choice. But I feel like maybe anyway. Look, if this show is trying to
I
make me
think
ship
Robert
them,
did had have to come, maybe not like to himself. No, I think he did have to like come to terms with the fact that he might be being played, or he might just be a number. Like you get like just another hit
so
for
those are two
Nicole.
different things, right? and I was more in line with the second one, that he felt like she does it to everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
But the first one is also very interesting. Do you think that he thinks that he's being played?
I mean, it could be one of the two. Because
Mm,
if he thinks she likes him, like you, then he might be thinking maybe she doesn't like me, like maybe she's just playing me.
yeah.
But then he can also, yeah, and I thought that was a nice scene. I think it's so sad that they didn't talk to each other about it though, like at first. I mean that Harper couldn't go to Robert when he started servicing Nicole to be like, oh yeah, something weird happened between me and her.
Yeah, but like,
But like, I get it. I get it.
yeah, how does that conversation go? Do you go to every person, every analyst that is with working with Nicole, like, hey, this is what
I
Nicole
mean, not
did?
everyone, but you know, the one
Your
the one that
friend?
you're living with.
Hmm. I guess, yeah, I guess in Harper's defense, she thought everything was above board. Like she says, oh, I'm happy that she's being professional. She probably thought
That's fair.
she was the outlier.
That's also
She
fair.
probably thought that it happened, like, yeah. So, because someone like Daria never spoke about it. So, like, oh, maybe it just happened to
Hmm.
me. Maybe I'm her type, quote unquote, to quote Love Island. But yeah, so Robert not answering her call was very. I was like, oh, okay, again, another ballsy move. I'm like,
That
okay,
was actually
this
a
is.
big boss move,
It's
bro.
like, but yeah,
She'll call back. Uh-oh. Who are you?
I do like that Harper notices that though. So obviously, it's probably a conversation coming down the line and
Mm,
everything. Um, okay, should we move on to Eric quickly? Unless you have any other
quickly.
thoughts on any of these characters.
No, but I do think, yeah, just in general, there was a lot of like people coming face to face with stuff about themselves,
Mm-hmm.
or the audience coming face to face with stuff about some of the characters. I think there's something Danny says with in the conversation with Harper
Which
when she
one?
was like, "How are you so good?" Or like,
Oh,
how
okay.
can you be in this industry and still be? And he was like, "This is who I am.
This
Like,
is who
there's
I am.
nothing else." And you can read that in two ways. Like, I'm a good guy. Like, this is who I am. Or like the achievements I've been able to rack up here. Like, this job is my life. This is
Mm-hmm.
the which I'd never really considered, but I think it might be. I think it might be accurate. I always feel so bad for people who don't have anything outside work.
Let me ask you this question here, and I would like to come back to it a few weeks later because I was thinking about this. Watching this show, this show is a
Mhm.
sexy show, right? And not just in terms of sex, like it's a well packaged show. How do I put this? Are you jealous of this industry, this occupation, like people in this? Like, would you be like, oh, I would actually want to be in this workplace,
Not
like with
not
the
in the
money and all that?
slightest. Not
Not
in
in
the
the slight. I know,
slightest.
right?
Not even a little.
And I was thinking about that because, like, I don't know if that's just us, but usually a show like this, like, again, I don't want to. I'm sorry if I have to compare to Succession, but like,
Go ahead.
it works in this situation.
You're allowed. Let me take a shot. Take
So
a shot every time Banky mentions
they're obviously
Succession,
all
guys.
terrible people. They've all been through trauma, all the Roy children and everything. But
Hmm.
watching that show, I don't not want to be a Waystar Roy co-executive. Do you get what I mean? Like they make it look like it's worth it. Industry doesn't make it look like it's worth it at all.
Yeah, it's the opposite of glamorizing.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, but
It's
it's not done.
demonizing. Okay, not
Yeah, but it's not
demonizing, but
done in
like,
like a in an overt way where everything is
yeah, it's not
dark and like
overt.
it's
No,
still like quite nice and appealing, but just I just like I don't want that. So I'm very interested with that, and I want to talk about
it's
it
a
as we
very
go
good
on.
balance that they've struck.
Hmm.
I see what you're saying because, like you were saying earlier, I like these characters. I enjoy watching them do what they're doing, but like, I don't honestly, I don't ever want to
I
work
don't
for
want to be
Eyo.
on the floor. Like I'm just like it's not
Never.
worth it. It's not worth it at all. And yeah, I was thinking about that literally. I was like, oh, I'll talk about it towards the end of the season, but then you just brought up that point. I was like, oh, maybe we should talk about it now. Um, she just quickly again, what you said about being honest and everything. She says to Danny, "I want to be honest with you, right? And I believe I can trust you."
Hmm.
And then she also believes that Danny has an inside ploy, right? Like he knows someone that is selling shares or whatever. I don't know the exact
Yes, that's what she
terminology.
believes. Yeah.
Yeah, and neither did she tell that to Danny, nor did Danny tell her that if that's the truth. So like,
Mm-hmm.
I guess everybody's not completely honest. That's what.
I mean, she's not honest, and I think that was I think that I thought it was such a beautiful scene. Yeah, so I thought that was such a beautiful scene. The post
Hmm.
coitus inter well, what happens after they have sex when
Yeah.
she removes his hands, goes straight to the bathroom to like backstab him, comes out, smokes a cigarette, and like I was just like, oh, I think this is the show telling us who she is,
Hmm.
like in
Hmm.
a nutshell. Like none of this stuff matters to her. Like she wanted to hit, she hit, but like if there's a way for her to make a gain, I think Harper
Yeah.
is always going to take
It's
it.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of like what I was saying about Nicole, like about she would never pick anything over Roberts.
Mm,
Like so Harper, whoever you are, would always come second place. Like she might pick you if it's you versus someone else. But
beneficial.
yeah, but if it's you versus business or you versus work or whatever, she'll probably always pick work first. Let's talk about who she learned that from. Um Eric Tao. So I should have known this because of how the episode starts. But it was only to the last 5 minutes of the episode I was like, oh, this is an Eric episode. I was like, oh, this is the big Eric episode. So we find out from the beginning, literally the first 3 minutes, that Eric has been on a mandatory 2 week leave, which
Mhm.
obviously removes the theory that the entire season will cover 8 days, or rather my theory.
Yeah, I
um,
wasn't
DVD
put that on
calls
me,
him to
bro.
DVD calls him to inform him that he being DVD is handling his desk's compensation and the general bonus pool is down, both of which infuriates Eric so much that he flies to New York to meet Adler. Um, he calls DVD from New York and he basically threatens DVD's job. He says, "I'm talking to an empty seat." Which you ever watched Heat? Have you watched Heat?
Stop doing this, you
I just feel like that's a
bitch.
Heat reference because I know Conrad and Mickey really like the Michael Mann. Okay, I'm sorry, never mind. Anyways,
You bitch.
I'm not
Fuck
trying.
you.
Okay,
I'm gonna start asking you if you've watched Yoruba movies and start referencing them. Bastard.
it wasn't anyway. Okay, I'm sorry. Um, so a conversation that I need to rewatch with subtitles in this episode is the conversation between Eric and Newman's widow.
With a fair.
Because unlike the Yasmin and Harper one, I feel like that conversation is very important to the plot and the character of the story. But there are a lot of parts I did not catch.
Like which
Right,
part?
especially
I
some of
thought
the,
like yeah. What didn't you
so
catch?
I think when she was talking, there's some things, and I just like, so I get the whole part because what does Eric say? I believe that people are born 1,000 men and die as just one,
Yeah.
which I think that's not common, but it's like a fairly common
It's
saying.
a
Which like
yeah.
I guess when you're born, the possibilities are endless, and then you make decisions that kind of limit you into one thing. But I don't know how that relates to the situation at hand. And I think he was also referencing the fact that which again, I'm sorry, this was a big deal to me. The fact that he hired Adler, I was like,
Bro,
what?
did he hire everyone?
I
Did
was like,
Eric hire
Eric,
everybody?
what are you doing with your life? What is going
Why
on?
isn't he hire? How do you hire Adler and Danny and they're both ahead of you?
Because Adler is what, CEO now,
Something. I don't know. I think he's the head
New
of something.
York.
I forgot what it is. No, not in New York, because when he came to London in the first
It
season,
was a
they were
big deal.
like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah. I
yeah.
don't think he's
Anyway,
quite CEO, but like
yeah,
he's a big deal.
yeah. So yeah, I don't know if that conversation was also referencing the fact that like he's kind of made these guys' careers and they're kind of fucking him over, right? Them
Mm.
being Danny and Adler. Obviously, when you watch this scene the first time, you don't know that he hired Adler, so you don't catch that. But so I got that was the feeling I got from that scene, but I couldn't tell you the exact sentence or quote that gave me that feeling. Does that make sense? Well, that's why I need to
Fair
rewatch
enough.
that thing with subtitles. I'm like,
Okay, I
what's going
probably
on?
need to rewatch it as
Because she
well.
said something about
Because
how I feel like you did it for yourself and you want to be the lone gunman or whatever with your face plastered around town and he says, "Am I wanted?"
am
All
I
that I don't know
wanted?
what that means. I don't know how that.
I thought they were flirting at that point.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to do with the plot as well or like the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
situation.
It was
Yeah,
the
but I
plot.
didn't know
Like I
how it
thought they were
related to the
flirting.
situation. Um, yeah, and she, like you said, she's flirting with him. She tries to sleep with him, and then he kind of rejects her. which leads us to the final scene, or one of the final scenes rather, the one with Adler. Can I just say that DVD's introduction to that scene is incredible. That is like
It
Thor entering
reminded me
Wakanda
of
thing. I was like, what?
what did it remind me of? Severance.
Oh, what the board?
Just like just the board in Severance. I was like, oh my gosh, they're
Like the fact
talking.
that, because then when I rewatched the scene, I was like, there are so many points where DVD can come in because he's literally
Yeah.
talking about Danny, and then he picks. So him and Adler did a rehearsal. They're like, you can't come in until this point, until we're talking about moving him. Yeah, I thought that was incredible. Eric's face when he realizes that, like, shit, they're moving me out.
They're
Yeah,
moving.
they're moving me to
Yeah.
pasture, and all that is just really, really well done. And the fact that, like, he's been suffering four quarters down, like, is the reason he's so essentially his own bonus was less than everybody else's, right? Or whether it was dropped more than everybody, not like in terms of the actual amount,
Yeah, it's probably
because it
dropped
was
more than
forty
everybody else's.
percent,
Yeah.
and Harper was dropped from 250 to 125. No, no,
Like,
no,
what do
she's
you
not
mean,
125.
percent?
No, no, because she got 250 in season one, didn't she?
No, she got 20. No, she got 15 in the first.
Oh yeah, that is. She
She got
can't go
50
to
in the
50.
first
Yeah,
season.
that can't go to 50.
250 is her total comp because her base is 125 and then bonus of 125.
Oh, okay. I know, but yeah, the point is that he got dropped 40%, and I think everybody else got dropped not as much. And then we realized that he's the one that is like
Dragging
dropping
the
the entire.
death.
Like, so like, what, even Robert is making money, and then him
I mean, Robin
is,
made no money last year, so I guess
but he was making calls, yeah. But now he's
I
made up
guess
for it with
he's
Nicole.
printing biz with
He's
Nicole. So
printing
yeah.
biz. Um, yeah, I don't know. What do you think about this season, this scene, and Eric's story this episode?
I thought so one of the first notes I had was oh wow, have we ever seen Eric outside the office but like not in relation to any other characters?
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't remember a time. I was like, oh okay, so we're gonna
So
have an important Eric story in this one.
yeah, I was thinking about you when you said that. Sorry, in season one, how you said like, you show me as many of Eric's kids as you want. It's not going to rehab his character for me.
Yeah, and it didn't because guess what, Panky? They don't like him. They don't like
Well, that his daughter pecks him, gives me a peck at the end of the episode.
yeah, because she could smell the desperation on him. She could smell how pathetic he was.
He's still wearing that hoodie though. I love that. He's still wearing that famous hoodie. But yeah, sorry, continue about Eric.
So yeah, so I was like, okay, this is gonna be a big Eric episode, and then he gets to New York, but then I think the most pivotal part was that conversation he has with Newman's widow. There was just so many things that were dropped in there.
So many, so many.
So they were in the grad class together. Newman was both their bosses. She slept with him. She was sleeping with Eric first. Started sleeping with him, married him.
Probably overlap, yeah.
Yeah, there might have been an overlap. Newman was Eric, like he was an abusive guy.
But like worse. Like
Maybe,
maybe actually racist.
yeah, like maybe actually racist.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh wow. So is this show about the cycle of abuse? Is it
Isn't every
just
show?
Succession? But
Well,
yeah,
isn't
I was
every
like,
show about cycle of abuse?
I mean, say I wouldn't go that far, bro. I don't think the good place is about the cycle of abuse.
Is it? Isn't not? Isn't about breaking cycle of abuse?
I don't think so, bro.
You break it so that you can be a good person.
Okay.
Because I
Okay.
think
I mean that's
Christian
a
Bale's
fair
mother,
reading.
Christian Bale's mother was abusive to
Was
her,
probably
wasn't she?
abusive. Yes. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me find a show that isn't about the cycle of abuse.
A great show.
Why do you have to qualify it like that?
What do you mean? I don't want to talk about bad shows.
Okay, I'll get back to you. But
Severance is
yes,
mental abuse by your corporations.
it's just severance of our capitalism, man.
Abuse. That's
About
financial
the abuse that
abuse.
we're all in.
The bear abuse.
Oh, the bear. What a great show. Anyways, so yeah, yeah, that conversation I thought was so good because even as they were having it, I could see like so they were talking about the guy above them and how it's
Mm-hmm,
shaped who they are. And then
mm-hmm,
Harper and DvD have more or less the same conversation.
mm-hmm.
I was like, oh wow, you guys are just just repeating this.
That's why I loved. why that because that's Harper and DvD's sex scene comes immediately after they talk about her sleeping with Eric
Yeah.
and the boss. I was like, you guys are, yeah, you're right. You're just repeating it. It's just
It's
a
just
cycle.
repeating this. It's a
Yeah.
cycle. So I honestly, okay, then the rest of the stuff that happens, which is neither really here nor there for me. I feel like Eric's reaction to what has happened to him will probably be more interesting than what is happening to him because
Mhm.
left to me, I'm like, bro, you're lucky they didn't sack you.
Eric dug his own grave, lowered himself inside, and poured the sand
Like,
over. Everything there was Eric's fault. If he stayed in London, none of this would have happened.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, bro, you are so lucky they didn't sack you.
Because it's when
But
he calls DVD now that DVD makes this plan. And I was like,
makes the
this is
plan.
all your fault, Eric. Like, this did not need to happen. But yeah, sorry, continue.
But yeah, and then he does what every bitch boy does when they're down.
Cheats.
He cheats on his wife and then goes to cuddle his kids. Bitch ass nigga.
He couldn't sleep in the bed because he knew she would smell it on him.
Man, he went to sleep with his daughter. See, that's better.
Well,
Man, and then how did he choose that one that he was going to sleep with?
they're twins. I mean, they're twins,
A
right?
bad dad. Yeah, yeah. A bad dad, a bad person. But I think it'll be lovely to watch him react to this. I
Yeah,
like it when he's really backed into a corner. I want
yeah.
to see what he can
These
do.
are these are the perfect characters to be backed in the corner, right? Because just like,
Yeah.
how are you going to come out? How are you going to come out swinging? I don't know. This is obviously not a coincidence, but the fact that, because I think it was episode 1 or maybe episode 2 where Eric is like, what, a cubicle, an office is a jail or whatever, that he likes to be on the floor
Mm-hmm.
because Daniel's like, haven't you gone up? And I just like the fact that when he goes to his office today, there's like scaffolding outside.
Yes, yes.
I was
But
like,
I didn't even put that together. But I was like, this scaffolding it means something.
oh, I'm sorry, I didn't put the jail thing together until just now. But like,
Oh,
I was like,
right.
I was going to
I was
point out the
looking at it, I was
scaffolding.
like, man, is it like, oh, he's building something, like what are they trying to
Yeah,
say?
and I think
But
there's a shot of
yeah.
him from outside, isn't there? Like a drone shot of outside, so like you're
Mm,
looking at him looking out
okay.
through the scaffolding and windows or whatever. But yeah, just like okay, Eric, what we're gonna do now? Also, I think this is the first. Well, is the first. Well, I guess you can count the episode where we see Eric in the grocery shop or whatever. But
Supermarket,
it's the
yeah.
first Eric episode where he doesn't share a scene with Harper.
Interesting.
I don't think I've seen
Yeah.
that. I might be wrong, but I can't imagine that that's
Yeah,
happened.
yeah, that's true. But yeah, so overall, or did you want to say anything else or
No,
we
no,
kind
no,
of go to
no. Go
the
ahead,
news?
go ahead.
Overall, I really like this episode, and I wasn't expecting to, like, based on what I've said the last 2 episodes, because the last 2 episodes have given us a goal
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
an event, and
This was a break.
this didn't have any of that. But I really enjoyed it. I loved all the conversations, especially that Eric and Mrs. Newman conversation was great. When he goes around, when he starts talking to her about how um, Newman used to like racially abuse him, and
Mm-hmm.
she was like, "Oh, I knew him for so many like years. He didn't say anything like that. I hope you know that's not who he was." And Eric's like, "It's not all he
But
was,
he was who he
but it
was.
was him." And I was like, "That's a fair, that's a nuance that we miss in life,
Mm,
because people will be like, oh, this and that, and then they were like, oh, but Trump did this, so he wasn't a bad president." It's like, bro, two things can be true.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I thought it was lovely. I thought it was so well written. Shout out to Zara. Uh, but yeah.
yeah, sir. Yeah, no, it's a really good, and I just like I said, they're assembling a very good episode of season of television. Okay, so this episode, just to show how much of an outlier it was or how different it was from the other episodes,
Mhm.
I think we're in the office maybe 5 minutes. There's no Jackie, there's no background talk in this episode.
I noticed that.
So I didn't
Yeah,
really have any like any overhead options. I don't know if you caught any, but
I
definitely
didn't.
didn't catch any. So my only real quotable from this episode is Maggie loving cunt, which is just like I was like
That was really good. That was really good.
I was like, what?
That was really good. Oh, that
I was
was
like,
so good.
is that racist? I'm not sure. I think so.
Oh
I've
no.
never I've never heard
But
anyone
you
say
know
that
what he
before.
meant, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
As in wait, as in like
Wait,
Maggie
what did he
seasoning now.
mean? No, it's not Maggie seasoning, my G.
What do you say?
He said Maggie loving cunt as per Margaret Thatcher.
Oh!
Oh my god, Bankole. What do you think it was about? No cube.
Has to stay in the episode. Oh my god, I thought it was about no cube.
No, it's about Thatcher
What?
because he's a conservative.
Yeah, I get that now, but he's also Ghanaian, so I thought it was like.
He's in a conservative office, man. He's in the office of
Yeah,
their
but he saw a
conservative
black man,
businessman.
and do you hear the accent? That's like not even.
Their Tory MP is black. I
Yeah,
don't get.
who would have came out to say the same thing? Remember, she's Yoruba as well.
She is Yoruba fair. she probably likes
Why didn't you just
black
call
men.
her? Why didn't you just call him Thatcher loving cunt? Why didn't you say Thatcher loving cunt?
I don't know. Just give a bit of flavor. You get it?
Yes, I get it. I'm still laughing at my own. I genuinely thought it was like.
Man, no
Maggie.
wonder. No wonder that was your line because
Yeah, because like.
I was talking about salt. Banky, yes, you're crazy.
Because if not, that would have not made my list. That's just a normal insult. Like, but I was like, oh, he's insulting him because he likes no seasoning. And I was like, does Gus even cook with no seasoning? Oh my god! You know what? I don't think I can beat that. That's a good point in this
That's
episode. I don't
probably.
know. Do you have any?
No, I've already said my line.
At what point did you clock that I like what I thought that line meant?
When you started, you're not saying the things I was expecting you to say. When you said, was it racist? I was like,
He's like, why
he
would he
doesn't
be
know what's
racist?
going on.
Did you know what I thought it was?
Yeah, once you said it's your racist, I was like,
Okay. Which would have been a better line?
What do you mean?
Like, would it have been funnier if he meant it the way he actually meant it as in Margaret Thatcher, or if he meant it as a racist slur for no seasoning?
I don't think it happens, Banky. I wouldn't find that believable. No random white man off the road is going to come and tell me I love Maggie.
Yeah, but it's not a random. Right? It's probably if it's a guy that like lives in where black people are and black people buy Maggie from the store. Anyway, that's fine.
Even then, Maggie loving. Thank you. You have killed me.
Oh, that's incredible. I love that for us. Yeah, I have to leave that in the episode. Anyways, okay. Okay, yeah, thank you very much for talking about episode 4 with me. We're going back to talk about episode 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8. And we might have some financial people to come and talk about episode 5 with us.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Anyways, guys, if you're still listening to this and you managed to get through that whole Maggie conversation, thank you very much for listening to this episode. Please, our industry episodes are actually doing really well, so thank you if you listened since episode 1. Thank you very much. Share with anyone that is watching industry. If they're not, tell them to get on board because season 2 is looking really, really good. And we need more people to talk about it. Yeah. So thank you for listening. Please share with anyone that is watching industry, and share with your friends who just like listening to people talk about TV shows. As always, thank you to Eyo for coming back, and then I'll see him again next week for episode 5. Thank you to my regular hosts, Jibs, Ibuka, Chinedu, and thank you to all the people that are listening and are sending nice thoughts and are retweeting our tweets and liking our posts. Yeah, thank you very much, and join us next week when we'll be joined by Daniel Kaluuya. Bye, guys.